I'm exhausted. I was literally in my room, like falling asleep, but I don't want to go to bed yet. I want to save all my sleepies for tonight. Because what I don't want to do is wake up at 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, be up all night, fall asleep right before I'm supposed to go to work, and then either be miserable or just not wake up. This is a Hay House deck? What? Oh, that means it could have been cheaper on the website. Apparently, Hay House will do like sales and stuff on their website directly. So I know that because my friend Eric's owning it. She be getting them deals on her decks. I'm like, what? That's how I knew about the like the half price Weaver Tarot cards. If there's like a minor imperfection on the box or something. And then I got it. I was like, I don't even see nothing wrong with this. Hey, Holly. But I just wanted to get to know the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards. But I don't know how I would do that. Excuse me. I don't think I have any like oracle-y. Hey Malika, how you doing? I don't think I have any. Let me see. Well, let's see. Saturn just went direct, right? Recently. So I'll pull a card for that. Can I get a card for Saturn direct, please? Maybe. I hope these don't go like all over the floor. I'm doing well. I'm like tired today because I woke up fine. And then I just got more and more tired as the day went. But thankfully, today wasn't super busy. Today was actually pretty chill. I met the new girl. She seems pretty cool. We seem pretty similar in some ways. Just in a enjoyment of, oh my gosh, come on. Come on. Oh. And like excuse me, an enjoyment of learning and knowing. Because my boss was like, "Oh, I want you to learn how to do some of their stuff too." And she was like, "Oh yeah, like I would love to." I was like, "Oh my gosh, gorgeous." So Saturn, Saturn going direct is bringing in the energy of the witness. And the bottom of the deck is the spiral. I feel like there's a solar energy here. In the sense of like illumination or something coming to the light. Or it's like it's making something seen. Or making it visible. Making what visible though? I'm trying to think of a deck that I have that will work with this deck. I can see the Walnut Gnome working with this one. Or the Osho Zen Tarot. But I don't necessarily want to go Osho Zen Tarot. Excuse me. Mm. Yeah. I saw a reverse umbrella today. I said, wait. It's just like it's a reverse umbrella. So when you get out of the car, it doesn't whatever. Blew my mind. Never saw a reverse umbrella before. Excuse me. It's still fairly early in the video, so I don't know what this is going to be. I'm kind of sort of just going to look at cards. No real intention here. So feel free to come and go or not come or not go. What deck is it? I think it's the Toth. Or the Thoth or the Thoth or the Toth or whatever. Where the Queen of Pentacles has like horns. And it's the Oops. Russ calls it. It's feminine Saturn. I could pull another one. Let me get another one of these. Clarify. What is being witnessed, please? Or what is Saturn bearing witness? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that makes me feel a lot better. That makes me feel a lot better. The whole deck was in reverse. I was like, what is Saturn witnessing? What is being witnessed? And the middle world came out in reverse. And I was like, oof, not the whole world being flipped on its head. This is interesting. I think we did Saturn. No, we did Pluto first. Excuse me. When I did the reading with Russ and the tree came out, it was temperance into the devil and then the devil into the tower. With the tree that was inside the glass pyramid, and in the devil into the tower, or the tower into the star, it's broken. I think it's the tower into the star. It's broken. So before, in the devil into the tower, you see the forces lined up, readying their attack. This is a 36, which is a 9. We go from a 64-10 to a 36-9 again. Why is that a theme lately? Can I ask that question? I don't even know who I would ask. I want to pull the Dreams of Gaia Tarot too. You know what? Excuse me. I am exhausted. Give me one moment. I think I can do this one while I'm live. Okay, yeah. Give me a second to maneuver and finagle some things around, please. But sometimes when I'm at work, I'll have to like move stuff into the hood, and I'll do like these turns. Hey, Steph, how you doing? I'll do these turns, and I'll make myself dizzy. I'll do like a half turn to pick something up, and then I'll finish the turn. I'll complete the turn, and I'll put it in the hood, and then I'll do a half turn, pick something else up, and then I'll finish the turn and put it in the hood, and then I'll get like a little dizzy, even though I'm not moving that fast. Oh, I got some chips. Some lightly salted chips. Chipas, chipas. Oh, this is an old insurance card. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Good and bad days. I'm doing pretty well. I'm tired this week because I guess Saturday I was grocery shopping like all day with my grandma. And then Sunday I had a service which was like emotionally taxing. Not extremely. And then Sunday, or yeah, Friday I went grocery shopping. Saturday I went to the service. Sunday I was at work for 9 hours, 10 hours. I went in at 7 and I left at 5. And I just feel like I haven't really, excuse me, I feel like I haven't really rested. And then I haven't been going to sleep at night. It's not that I can't sleep, it's just that I'm just not going to bed. I haven't been going to bed at night, so I'm looking forward to getting some sleep tonight to balance the scales. We are young, so let's set the world on fire, and we can burn brighter than the sun. You do not save this, do you? That's fine. So let's do that, and then I can move this like this. That works. There we go. Sure. All right. Hey, Twitty, thank you for the virtual pizza yesterday. I appreciate it. I saw the email, but the email didn't say like who sent it or anything. I appreciate it. I think I already said that. Thank you for popping in. Now you can't see me. Hold up 1 second. There we go. Better. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is that? Do 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 do. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is the energy of Saturn going direct. The Witness and Middle Earth in reverse. Where's my remote? I want to see what this looks like. I feel like every time I pick up my iPad, I recognize how big it is. This thing is huge, and they had an even bigger one. I was like, I don't need all this, but it is. Let's see. Oh, okay, you can see it. The Witness in Middle Earth. Okay, Middle World. It's interesting that this is featured in both of these. So wherever this is, it feels like it's outside of both the middle world and the witness energy, but it's close enough that it can be seen. Fairly large. So now I want to see where this witness is. I mean, I know where Saturn is, right? So if Saturn is where Saturn is and the middle world is Earth, then that could be the sun. Mm. There's something about the light that comes from the eye and the palm and not the celestial body in the sky. Oh, wait. Wait. I almost wonder if the witness is on Earth. Because the light coming from the palm and then the light coming from the tree here. This is interesting. It's also interesting that from the roots of this larger tree, there are these two saplings that are springing up. There are 7 crows here. I can't tell if they're inside of the bubble or outside of the bubble. With the middle world in reverse, the roots are at the top. So let's see. I'm going to give this 3 shuffles. Oh my gosh. That's a ring of keys right there. That's one. And then I'm going to pull the top and the bottom. 2. 3. Oof. Okay. So this is the top and bottom. This is also. Because it's almost like this is how we. I don't know. I don't. Let's see. It's so the intention was like this is the top and bottom, but it's flipped. So I don't know which is which right now. So in abundance, there's a dragon over a lady holding something with a cornucopia and a little rabbit and a little bow and some Celtic knots, looks like, in the back. Next to integrity. And then up here, we have the King of Water and the Five of Water. And the Five of Water we see 4 rays of sunlight that penetrate this deep. There's also 4 fish and a starfish. There's a triple goddess crown with the 3rd eye on it, or with an eye on it. Another starfish, a heart, 2 green seahorses, and some horned merman, aquafarian type of dude. With the glyph of Neptune in his 3rd eye. Neptune is in Pisces retrograde. Yeah, Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. It goes direct on December 1st. So 3 days before the eclipse. I think the eclipse is December 4th. I think that's what Russell said. So there's a tie to Neptune here. It's almost like the properties of water are changing to allow light to pass into spaces that it previously didn't. Either the properties of water are changing or the water is just like parting to allow the light to come through. Now, this energy, abundance and integrity, 15 and 23, there's a difference of 18, which is the moon, which is Pisces. No, there's a difference of 8, LOL, which is either strength or justice. Since we're in Libra season, it could be justice. It's both. Integrity would be strength. Integrity would actually be strength and justice. It would be both. So yeah, it's both. I'm not seeing it as a sea goat. I'm not seeing any sea goats anywhere. Seven of water in reverse. This is almost like a run. Oh, the merman with horns. Yeah, it's this king of water. Yeah, I'm not seeing it as a sea goat, but because it's more fish on the top than goat. But I guess if a sea goat goes underwater, it would need to be able to breathe. So something is going middle from the middle world to the witness, and it's traveling on currents of water. The fish. And then the fish find this person here in the five of water. It's almost reminding me of the Muspel card that came out, Muspel and whatever the other card was. Where it's the energy of like things, something triggers something that allows the divine to step in a way that it doesn't typically step in. It allows like interference in a space where usually there is none. Usually it feels like it's like, muster up your courage, muster up your strength, and when you're ready, you will put an end to this, you will move forward. And it also feels like something that flows one way, typically at the very least, is flowing the other way. And if something is back flowing, it's probably because of a buildup of pressure. And so that's the roots being upright and the upright being in the root now, with the middle world being turned on its head. It's like inverting it. And so it's almost like water is flowing upstream instead of downstream. And maybe that's what allows more of the sunlight in this area where it doesn't usually get it. So maybe there's an area. Mm, what's a deck that I can actually understand? Maybe the Witch's Tarot. I'll use the Kawaii Tarot because I haven't used it in a while. And it's fairly simple. Not always easy to understand, but simple in images. And I was like, I want to use my Japanese more. Oops. Hanged Man. There goes the headache. There goes the headache. There goes the headache. And the Eight of Wands. That's interesting. The Hangman on one side, the Eight of Wands on the other. Knight of Swords with the star at the bottom of both of these halves. So it flows from the King of Water to abundance. Which is interesting. Yeah. Water flows up the tree from the root. and it's carried by xylem. I think phloem carries the food, xylem carries the water. Queen of Cups energy. The Queen of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So here's the King of Water. Now there's a collaborative effort between the Queen of Water and the Queen of Wands. I'll put these over. I don't even remember what this was defining. I feel like with these cards, I really gotta like slow down to get it, because I'm just like, I'm used to moving a little quicker. So the Queen of Wands would be like a certain magnetism, a certain power, and a certain magnetism and power. The Queen of Cups is compassion and intuition. So with the way that photosynthesis works, it relies on excitation, right? The chlorophyll pigments or whatever photosensitive or photoreceptive pigment, it has an electron. When those electrons are exposed to sunlight, the photons from sunlight, then they increase in energy. And that increase in energy is used to bind some atom to a molecule. And then as the energy is used to bind the atom to the molecule, it goes back down in energy. And it's like a two-stage process. I think it's NADP and NADPH, but I don't remember. I don't remember fully the photosynthesis thing. And so it's like when those electrons get excited, something is done. And whatever is done then in turns helps to build and create the sugars by chaining carbon dioxides together and like inserting hydrogens, right? So it's an energy of like building something that you can sustain yourself with by proximity to something else. And maybe that's why they both see this thing. Like this is the thing in the middle. Wait, hold up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even put that together. I'm looking, because I was looking at the Queen of Wands, like, well, the Queen of Wands is the sun, and the Queen of Cups is the, I guess she would be the Pentacles. The energy of water creating light. What a bioluminescence. There are bioluminescent creatures in the water that would have to be charged by like sunlight or something, I would imagine. What is bioluminescence? I think bioluminescence is excitation too. Like if an electron gets a certain amount of energy and it enters certain energetic stages, then it emits light. And as it emits light, like it drops down in energy. So there is an energy store here somewhere, or it's being created. Maybe that's what this is. The energetic store. So something puts into the energetic store, something takes out of it. Right now, things are being excited from the middle world to the witness. That's why it's flowing in this way. And it's, I guess it's fish in water, right? With light, it can be both a particle and a wave, a photon, and zigzagging, right? I would say that there's a Sagittarian energy here, but I don't necessarily feel Sagittarian. I just feel like increasingly scientific. But I guess like the witness could be kind of science, girl. But it feels like it's not supposed. It feels like this isn't the way that things naturally flow. Naturally, things flow from the witness to the middle world. And I think I even said it what the day before yesterday, that something is established above before it can settle into the below, because the below is a lot denser than the above. But something is going from the below to the above, which makes sense, right? Because as above, so below, it's a two-way street. It's not necessarily unidirectional. Oh, Luciferin. I knew that. In a general sense, the principal chemical reaction in bioluminescence involves a light emitting molecule, an enzyme, a light emitting molecule and enzyme, generally called luciferin and luciferase, respectively. Because these are generic names, luciferins and luciferases are often distinguished by the species or group, like a firefly luciferin. In all characterized cases, the enzyme catalyzes the oxidation of the luciferin. In some species, the luciferase requires other cofactors such as calcium or magnesium ions, and sometimes also the energy carrying molecule adenosine triphosphate ATP. In evolution, luciferins vary little. One in particular, girl, coelent. Oh, coel, coel. That's like sky in Latin, I think. Uh, coal and terrazine. Coal and terrazine. It almost reminds me of like coalescence. It's found in 11 different animal phyla, though in some of these, the animals obtain it probably through eating something that is photosynthetic. So there's a oxidation. If one thing is oxidized, another thing is reduced, and that's the transference of an electron, I believe. So it's an enzyme that catalyzes something. I'm going to look before and after the Three of Pentacles because, I'll look before and after the Seven of Cups here, and the Three of Pentacles here. Because it's 3 is a catalytic number for me. And I guess if it's bioluminescent, 7 is a number of enlightenment. So the Two of Wands. Can you even see that? Oh, that card just fell on the floor. Two of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the Seneschal, I think. Maybe. Death fell on the floor, which is a 13. The Magician in Death. With the King of Swords. The King of Swords actually came out with the Mother of Wands and the animal. The Father of Swords came out with the Mother of Wands and the Wild Unknown. And the King of Swords was with the Queen of Cups in the Witch's Tarot. And what space was that in? That was in the space of... I don't remember. I know they came out though. The Queen of Air is at the bottom of the deck. I'm looking for the Three of Water. For this catalysis. I like that it's the Two of Wands too. The Knight of Pentacles speaks of evolutionary advantage, I guess. And what it reminds me of, here's the Three of Water. What it reminds me of is that the Two of Swords? That was the Five of Swords. And the Nine of Fire. That's funny because I just saw somebody, I think it was on Twitter, they were like, what, you don't keep Beauty and the Beast rose to enchant your surroundings at your desk? There's something going on with this witness energy. And it's here. It's shown there. So it's between the Eight of Fire. The Eight of Wands was at the top of the deck. Or, yeah, the Eight of Wands was at the top of one half, and the Hangman was at the top of the other half. And then the Crone is here. See, look, here are light fish. Light fish here, light fish here. And then it's like dark fish. And this. So they're charged here. And they're moving. They've released their charge here. So the energy was given to the Crone and the Eight of Wands. This is where the energy goes. With this sword wand looking thing. The Crone is interesting. The Crone is on the Moon card in the Witch's Tarot. But the Crone is in the light. And this person is in the dark. Usually we see the Crone in the dark. Oh, the crone's in the light. Duh. That's where the fish drop the light off, right? This is where the energy goes. It feels like, I guess it's going back to the Satsu people. Because it feels like the crone and this crow, like they are this being. This is them as a single being, as a single entity. With the eyes of the crone and the third eye, the eyes of the crone and the third eye, which is the crow. It feels like it's complete here. And it's interesting that, again, like we don't find the crow in the dark. This is the energy of the things that are born in the dark but evolve in the light. And I typically read cards from top to bottom. And so the roots are encountered first in the middle world, instead of the crows, instead of the canopy. Again, the crows at the top of this card and the canopy, instead of in the roots, they're in the light. This crow is in the light. They're not in the dark. The Two of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles is interesting. This feels like, so this energy catalyzes something. What does this catalyze? So the fish dropping their light off here catalyzes almost the discovery and union of the two halves of this energy between the crow and the crone. This catalyzes, it's almost like movement in a space that was blocked, or an increase in momentum, because the Knight of Pentacles like is forward moving and progressive, but it's kind of slow. But the Two of Wands are crossed, so it could be an impasse, but it's almost giving me railroad crossing energy. So it's almost like, instead of the Knight of Pentacles being somebody on a horse going at a meticulous and leisurely pace, it's like a train, like an iron, like an earthen thing that moves. This feels like the store. And I'm pretty sure, I guess I should just look it up at this point, because I'm pretty sure the Krebs cycle happens in the dark, and or the Calvin cycle, and that's where the sugars are actually built. Like, you gather all the pieces, you gather all the energy you need in the light, and then you actually build the food, you build the sugars in the nighttime. Calvin cycle. Oof, if I could type. Y'all remember when phones had like physical keyboards? Ugh. Yeah, this is where the sugars are made. Carbon fixation. CO2 binds to RUBP sugar with help from Rubisco. Six, no, this is the breakdown of the sugar. The six carbon molecule splits into two three carbon molecules, the three PGAs. Step two is the reduction phase. Three PGAs converted into G3P. Energy from light reactions get, like, they come in here, right? Goodness. And it is the NADPH. The NADPH from the light reactions come in here to transform the G3P into carbohydrate sugars. Yeah. So, girl, I'm confused. And then we get ATP, which is more energy from light reactions that turn this into G3P plus ATP used to make RUBP. And then the cycle begins again. So the RUBP is regenerated. Girl, hold up. I should just look up photosynthesis, light and dark cycles. Photosynthesis, light and dark reactions. The main difference between the light and dark reaction is that light reaction is the first stage of photosynthesis, which traps light energy in order to produce ATP and NADPH, whereas dark reaction is the second stage of photosynthesis, which produces glucose by using the energy from ATP and NADPH produced from the light reactions. So yeah, it is how I said it was. You make the sugars in the dark using the energy that you gathered in the light, and the sugar is the actual food that sustains the plant, right? And I think a lot of times when we probably, I'm assuming that when we think of photosynthesis, we think that the feeding themselves off of light, but they're using the energy from light to build food to feed themselves. So the light itself does not sustain them, but it's what they do with the light that does. And that's done in the leaves. So to sustain the rest of the tree, it has to flow down from the top to the roots, and it diffuses that, like the glucose and the sugars, as it goes. The water flows from the roots up to the top, and it diffuses as it goes. And you need the water to put the carbohydrates together, or to put to keep attaching carbon dioxide and building the sugar. Right, because sugars are like C6H12O6, but carbon dioxide only gives you C's and O's. And then, because carbon dioxide is CO2, so you would get, like, if you didn't reduce that anymore, you would have C6O12, because you have two oxygens for every carbon. But those extra oxygens get released as oxygen gas, O2, that we breathe in. And then we breathe out the carbon dioxide that they breathe in. So it's like there's an internal homeostatic process. Or not necessarily, well, yeah, kind of homeostatic. But then, like that, this internal process is paired with the processes of another. And overall, it creates a balance. Is this the separate thing, or these two? Goodness. But that's how the process usually works. But it feels like something is flowing in reverse. If it's flowing in reverse, it's in the other organism. Plants build up sugars. Our bodies break them down. But our bodies don't break down plant sugars that well. That's why fiber just passes right through us. our bodies are designed to break down animal sugars, because animal sugars are animal fats or whatever. Well, they're sugars. They're branched and they're chained, and so our like it picks off things. But if it's a single chain, like a lot of plant sugars are, like fibers are, if it's a single chain of carbohydrates, it's like the body has a hard time like trying to like break something off because nothing's like sticking out of it. So there is an energy where it's like it's not necessarily low hanging fruit, but our bodies naturally like they're good at like snapping and breaking and anything that like kind of sort of like shoots off, right? But if you have bacteria in your intestines that can break down fiber, then you get more of that. And I don't know, but I think a few people have those. It's like your natural flora, your natural like gut bacteria, it's like it differs from person to person. I think like generally they fall into again, like it's been a long time since I've been anywhere near this stuff. But I think generally people fall into a few categories of the types. And I can't remember if like people actually have native bacteria in their gut that will break down fibers, or if I was just like, what if people had those? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of nutritional value that it could provide us rather than just like cleaning us out. It cleans us out because we can't break it down. So maybe that's also an energy here of things that would flow to us that we would never be able to use. It's like it just passes right through us because our chemistry isn't designed to our bodies aren't designed to be able to break it down and then use it to build ourselves up, right? I want to look around the Three of Pentacles because I think that's even what it was talking about in that little clip. It's like some animals themselves may not actually have a luciferin, but they'll eat like a bacteria or they'll have some kind of symbiotic relationship with something else that does have it. So they gain the bioluminescence of what is inside of them. I'm gonna look before and after the Three of Earth just to see if it gives me anything. I need another deck though. Here's the Six of Water. No, I don't need another deck. Well, it feels like here's this energy, heaven and earth. Oh, I love that heaven and earth is under this. It feels like this energy builds the sugars, right? You see all the pearls chained together. And even in this King of Water, these bubbles look like pearls, but they're separate. And in this one, again, they're separate. But here is something that puts it together for us and hands it to us. It's that symbiotic relationship. This is the thing inside of us that does it when we can't naturally do it ourselves just because of how evolution worked, I guess. And maybe that's what this is too. It's like the fish can take in the light, but she's still blue, even though the light penetrated to this depth. And then with integrity in reverse, again, it's an energy where it's just like our bodies don't naturally do it. So these energies are separate. Oh, or no. Maybe the witness is in the Middle Earth, in the canopy, offering this. So maybe there's some new maybe there's some new level of integration with something that makes us more whole. Or it increases our ability and capacity to do certain things. Things that the way we're currently wired just doesn't accommodate for. I almost wonder, because I know that like it seems that certain deity energies have, well, I'm fairly new on my journey, so who am I to say? But I don't know if it's almost like, you get adopted, not adopted, you get taken in by some kind of energetic frequency thing that does that for you. And as it does it for you, I guess like an energy mantle, it allows you to wear its energy to do stuff. But what do they get from us? An earth that isn't on the brink of destruction? I don't know. Hey, Russ. Is it like converting pain into joy in the sacral? It's not a natural process, but can be achieved. That reminds me of Goddess Ninlil in Gate 2, who wrung out the pain and used it to nurture the seeds of something new. I would say it probably isn't limited to just the sacral. So maybe there are things within all energetic centers that are being like reworked in some way. Backflow. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's related to something that our bodies used to be able to do, but it's almost like those tasks were outsourced because our bodies no longer did them or were no longer capable of doing them. Because I don't know, for some reason, when you say that, it makes me think that It's like it's jump starting our ability to do it ourselves, almost like reminding the bodies. Oh, I'm gonna get food today. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sorry. I'm excited. It smells good. Heaven and earth. With this 9 of air under it. This is interesting. Because it almost feels like in this, that the roots are like coming out of the crown. And the rainbow roots, that's the 6 of Cups energy in the Wild Unknown Tarot. The 6 of Cups energy came out around the star. It was the star with judgment and the 6 of Cups on either side. In the reading where the Father of Swords came out with the Mother of Wands, and the King of Swords came out with the Queen of Cups. I feel like these are connecting in some way that my brain is just not having today. It's giving me a headache. The Eye of Horus over the witness's shoulder often feels like an old energy returning but renewed and different. I didn't even realize there was an Eye of Horus over her shoulder. Oh, this one? I think I know why this is backwards. Because the middle world is returning light to the source. This witness is producing light, not receiving it. Right? Oh no, you stay over here. This is who I was looking for. That's not who I was looking for either. This is who I was looking for. Oh my gosh. If I ever want a headache, I'll just use these 2 decks together. This is a leech. If Lafruma is on one side of the leech, I'm going to flip. Oh, my head hurts. My head hurts. My head hurts. My head hurts. Ash, personal Yggdrasil. Leech. And towardness. 26, 68, 32. 8, 13, 5. It feels like this is a leech because wait. I've never even heard of vitamin P. There's an energy drain here. See, because it's like these fish are supposed to come here with their light, but they're losing their light with the dark fish in this card. They're losing their light to do this. And it's the personal Idrisil. But because they have to do this, this is weakened. This gets dimmer. So the witness, it's almost standing for our ability to produce light. Because when we can produce light within ourselves, then more light can go to strengthening the bond between the middle world and whatever the witness is connected to. And maybe that's what this is. So then this would be Pluto. Oh, and it's fitting because the six of water is it's the second decan of Scorpio. So it's Scorpio with the Piscean influence, or Pluto and Neptune. And then there's that Neptunian influence again that's up here. 5, 6, 7. Hey, Starborn Berg. Oof. This live, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I gotta read these cards for like literally hours before I even remotely start to understand anything. Light is not a finite resource at all. But maybe this is also the reason why, maybe it also contributes. Pluto went on the sixth, and here's the six of water. I said it was Pluto frequency because of the heart at the bottom of that. And on Rustling Around, Pluto is coming out with all the love now. Love is the thing that has the power to transform everything. And that came out yesterday in The Beloved and the Coyote, the many different forms of love, and how sometimes love doesn't look like that soft and endearing love that we love to view as love. That's easiest to appreciate as love. But yeah, it was first to come out. That's what I thought you meant. But yeah, it's almost like this is why if you feel, if you've been, if things have gone kind of sort of quiet or silent for you in a way that there always used to be something there, if you've been feeling more in the position to need less guidance to do stuff, it's probably for this reason and for this purpose. It's to put you in a position of becoming luminous. So not only can you contribute to the light but you also like you're not a light sink. You don't leach light from the universe. You're not some dark hole walking around just sucking light out of everything. Not that there's anything wrong with that again, right? Because, but it is almost this energy where it's like more could be done if that didn't have to be a thing, which almost goes back to that energy of like this stream of light overhead that we just sort of tap into and then it pours out. But to be in the stream, one must be luminous. And that reminds me of the other side of Uul. I don't even know where I don't even use that notebook anymore. Where Uul was, it's like being in the light as light, but still maintaining your integrity with the core of dark. Or being in the dark as dark while still maintaining your integrity with the core of light. And it's the ability to shift and move those to reconfigure ourselves so that we can enter certain spaces or gaze into certain spaces and not be lost in them. And I think a lot of times we try to give up and sacrifice to access those spaces, but then we lose parts of ourselves. We lose ourselves. It's like if the woman became the crow, if the crone became the crow, for all of the crow's magical symbolism. But if she forgot she was woman, or she forgot she was ever woman, this is the energy where she's both the crow and the crone at the same time. It's interesting because it's almost like this energy, it's like with the way we go about things, it actually blocks our future rather than opening it. It darkens it for all the light that we seek. We become black holes that just suck in light. Well, I didn't necessarily have an anticipation for this. The crow plus crow equals new. Oh, NEW. What? So this is the crow. This is the crow. This is the new. Oh, now I gotta go looking for new. Wait, where my low runes go? Where my low runes go? I love that Ophir Lagu was behind Night and Man. What am I looking for? New. Okay. I was like, what? Fane or Vein? Weathercock fluid, new, and broom. Brahm. Brahm is here again. I like this though, because it feels like there was something here that wasn't able to be anchored. And it feels like Brahm is going to sweep away whatever makes that so. Maybe to scrub. Or like it's the butcher's broom, right? This is the fluid that the broom is scrubbing. This feign energy. And it's not that life becomes it's not that life becomes predictable, but it's almost like our responses to it become more stable. It's easier to maintain integrity. Brahm, scrub away the leech blood. hmm New personal growth. And ash trees are dying. A lot of them are standing dead. But it breathes a you energy into the ash where it comes alive from the inside out. But I don't know if that makes it a new tree. A shoe! Sorry. I saw the opportunity and I had to take it. Gesundheit. Thank you. Ash you. A shoe. A shoe. A shoe. Oh, that's literally what this is about. Oh, well, thank you. I didn't know you could wassail a sneeze. That's this energy. It's the same energy. So the you would be the bioluminescent thing inside of the gut of the other thing, or inside the body part of the other thing that gives it its bioluminescence. The you is the thing inside that would bring the ash back to life, or that would give the ash new life, that would expand its capabilities and capacities. Because now, with something inside of it, it can break down other things. It can find nutrition and sustenance in areas where things would just, it's like with vein, it would be too fluid. Like vein and Brahm, this is like, when you eat something and it gives you the runs and it just, makes disgusting noises coming out of you, it runs right through you. It runs right through you. So, this is what Saturn turning direct is giving us. Oh my goodness. These stacks, man. Oof. If I ever want a headache, like I said, I'll just use these two together. Excuse me. It means good health. Yew trees have an hallucinogenic aura in their pollen, and on a hot day, they create a shift in vision. Two of Wands from earlier in the eye over the witness. Oh, see the hallucinogenic aura that creates the shift in vision. That's the Fata Morgana. It's interesting that the Fata Morgana energy comes through because Morgan started today. I was like, I don't know what it is about this woman, but something about her feels magical. And now we're co-workers, so I guess I'll be able to find out. Oh my gosh, I got glitter on the cards. Now glitter is on the cards. I've been having glitter on my fingers, just like randomly popping up for seemingly no reason. Maybe glitter was already on the card, and that's why it came on my fingers. The Fata Morgana. My cards don't have gold edges. Where did the Fata Morgana start? That energy actually came through not extremely recently, but it's like the Fata Morgana is real. You just gotta find somewhere to. It feels like if the Fata Morgana doesn't settle, there's something that causes it to not. It's almost like certain ports have to be open for connection. It's enzymatic, right? With an enzyme, if something is in the enzyme, like an enzyme has to be free to be functional. If something is stuck in it, or if it has a conformational shift and change, then it's not going to bind in the ways that it's supposed to do what it's supposed to do. And so it's almost like seeing 555 or 333 or any like Wheel of Fortune type of energy, but you never experience the change. It's like the force, the changing agent is there, but it's inactivated for whatever reason. Another reason why an enzyme won't work is because of competition. Emotion and intellect is here with Water Dragon. Oh, Water Dragon with the 4 hearts. Gorgeous. Love that. I'm just like, wait. Wait, the Earth Dragon was at the bottom of Heaven and Earth. The back is the scribe again. The scribe again with this person here. I'm actually gonna read this book. I'm gonna read the book because I'm like, what the freak is this? What the freak does this mean? Hello. Oh, your deck did? Well, so there's different kinds of competition. There's like inhibitive, non-inhibitive, and then something else. So competition, it's just that like let's say that you get blessed or you have something good happens to you, right? Not you in particular. Let's say that something good happens to Jim, but Jim's having a bad day. So that good thing, Jim is like, oh, Jim brushes it off. Like that's the energy of competition because Jim is already having the bad day, committed to continuing the bad day. He only allows for his day to get worse, or at best for it to stay as crappy as it is. So now that frequency, that change in frequency, the thing that would like shift his day around has to compete with his mood and his imbalance of humors. It's not like a, interpersonal competition. And then so that would be more like competitive inhibition, where it's like if something else gets there first, then it's not available, right? Like if I get on the computer before you can get on the computer, then and we only have one computer. Thank you. Then you can't get on the computer because I'm on the computer. Thank you. Were you talking to Benny? She was just about to open my door. Non-inhibitive competition. Again, this was a minute ago for me, so I'm gonna try to remember. Non-inhibitive competition happens where one thing is used by multiple things, I think, or there are different pathways, right? It's like I can either go to the movies or I can go to the spa. Well, if you go to the movies, you can't go to the spa. So it's not like competitive competition where it's like, if you go here, then like it's not free because you took that spot. It's just you decide to do something else. And then there's another one that I don't remember all of them, but yeah, that's how competition works. It's not always because they directly compete. Sometimes it's just like, they go somewhere else or they do something else. Or something else is needed at the time. Um, oh, look, 11 and 12. 11 came out. Oh my gosh. What? 11 came out and 12 was at the bottom of the deck. We are finally, I am finally moving forward in these energies over here. Goodness. Everything's been going backwards. Everything's been retrograde. Saturn going direct is moving everything else direct. Thank you, Saturn. Wait, I'm confused. This is the 11 of water? Oh, this is the 11 of water. And this is the 12 of air. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, how does this? I'm looking through the majors like, excuse me. I don't know how this works. So, fire, fire, water. So the 11 of water. Now these make a lot more sense. They make a lot more sense. Emotion, intellect. The 11 of water is a balancing and realignment card that addresses any emotional disharmony that may be influencing your choices and environment. It also represents the need for us to see the whole and how an imbalance can affect it. Love and fear. How many times have you heard someone say that a choice or action was made from a place of fear, or was born of a person's insecurities and doubts, or was born of love? When we are attacked by others, we may react and retaliate because we are angry and afraid, but we may also act because we have love for ourselves and wish to address an injustice and prevent further injustice. We may choose not to take a risk or make changes in our lives because we are afraid of an unknown future. But we may also choose not to take a risk that may alter our lives because we love the life we already have. We may be plagued with doubts, but we can also be blinded by love. What I love most about this, that is not the end, but that's all I'm going to read. Who said that recently? Hey, Willow Pillow. Who said that recently? Rob? I watched Rob's Pisces read on lunch today. I feel like I've also watched Reem recently, and I've also watched Russ recently. Lately, my brain is not good at saying who said what or what came from whatever. But somebody was like, "It can be this or it can be that. It's about the intention." I think it was Reem. I don't remember. But what I love most about this emotion slash integrity card is because, like, on my own personal journey of self love and discovering what like self love is in action, like self love as an action word rather than just like a, whatever. There were often times where it was like, I feel like I'm doing something that a lesser healed version of myself would have done, but I'm doing it for a different reason. It's motivated by something different. Like the entry said, like it's motivated by a self love now rather than whatever else. It's like I love myself too much to to deal with it. Rather than it being like I'm gonna cut somebody out of my life and never talk to them ever again. You know what I mean? Because I think I used to be really, I know I used to be really quick to cut people out of my life and just never go back. And then I had to soften up thanks to my Libran best friend. But like when that softening happened, it threw my whole everything out of whack. Because then I was like, well, what if there were people that I cut off that I didn't necessarily have to? Like, I'm not going to go back to the past. But after that happened, every time like things reached a certain point or whatever, after that, now it became like a decision and a choice that I had to make, where I got to sit down and I got to weigh pros and cons, and I have to actually like put thought into it rather than just like cutting somebody off and being done for whatever reason. And that's why for me at some points the intention behind it mattered. It's like this isn't done out of fear, this isn't done out of malice, this isn't done out of indifference, this is done out of love. And then the scribe is here and the 12 of air. The scribe is the record keeper, the keeper of all knowledge and information about past, present, and future. He is a priestly man, although not necessarily a religious one. His religion is knowledge and wisdom, tradition, mythos, and law, philosophy, religion, and science, mathematics, and the arts, history, current events, and events that are coming. He has a reverence for books and makes little room for anything else in his life. They are his constant companions, and when he is not reading and memorizing their contents, he is searching for new sources of information and collating and documenting that information so it can be recounted with ease. He is on a perpetual quest for knowledge, not just for his own benefit, but for all of mankind. He believes that record keeping is the cornerstone of civilization, and without accurate records, the past has served no purpose. I feel like that just, it almost like reiterates. There we go. I was like, is re edify a word? Is re edify a word? I'm like, reiterate is the word that I was looking for. Hey Siri, define re edify.
Ratify means.
Not ratify. Hey Siri, define edify.
Edify is a formal term. It means instruct or improve someone morally or intellectually.
To instruct or improve someone morally or intellectually. Well, here would be the moral, and then here would be the intellectual. And I feel like the morals come in here because it's probably a question of like, is me being hurt enough to warrant this? Yes or no? I don't know. Maybe not. But to re-edify is to call something into question. And then to either make a different choice and decision or to make the same. That is not what I was looking for. Hey, Cyberberg. Yeah. Yeah. It was a doozy too, because I was like, I'm trying, like, I thought I was changed. And then sometimes it's just your mind playing tricks with you, or it's devil energy that is helping you to see how things have actually changed. Because I was like, I know I'm not the person I used to be. I know I'm not doing it for the reasons that I used to do it, but the outcome is the same. Like, I'm doing the same things. Hello? And it's like, well, the actions may be similar, but it's for completely different reasons. And I think that that would help us see a lot of things. Well, I think sometimes there are things that happen for multiple reasons. There are things, there's the light, let's just say like the light reason or the dark reason versus the shadow reason. And the shadow reason is just like incomplete. Like the light reason has a completeness to it. The dark reason has a completeness to it. The shadow is hazy. It's kind of sort of in between. And it's kind of sort of like that, more competitive, I guess, inhibition. Where it's like if you've already dedicated yourself to having a bad day, then you're not going to allow your day to improve no matter what happens. The Knight of Pentacles has come out again with the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. You'll go here. The Two of Wands is on the other ones. Things are changing very slowly. What did I say earlier, though? If you're getting like energies of change and movement, but nothing is changing or moving, then there's probably some kind of competition or inhibition. So it's competitive and non-competitive inhibition. So it's not necessarily the competition, it's the inhibition of the catalyst. That which is supposed to produce a change, but it can't for whatever reason. The Three of Cups. Okay, I'll take it. The 2 into the 3. Let's go. Three of Cups is almost this energy with the Fool right there. It's almost like, you could be less alone if you wanted to. You could have community if you really wanted it. But I think sometimes we do kind of hold on to like stories and narratives of the past. And we allow those stories and narratives of the past to color our present interactions. So then we get more of the same. Even though we're dealing with completely different people. Even if the people aren't who the people used to be, we would never know the difference. And that is our reality. Whew. They're all lessons in the in-between and intention. The Staff. There's standstill again. And the Curse. The interesting thing about the Curse, though, I don't know if it's a curse of silence or if it's a curse that's maintained by silence. The beloved Earth. Aww, that's cute. Russ! No! One or two more like the final card? Or one or two more and then like the final card? Oh, gosh. All right, Shamanics. On behalf of Russell and whatever his mind is bringing to the forefront, or his being, whatever his being, body, mind, waters, that's a lot. He said one or two, so I'm going to honor that. Just as the final. Oh, okay. So final message. I can do that. Thank you. Oh, gosh. No! Oh, it's 4 cards. Hey, there's Eve's ghost dance. Lightning. The medicine wheel again. The crow. And the earth keeper. Lightning and the medicine wheel. This is Joaquin, the thunder being. So I think it's David. Not in depth, just a summary. Okay. So I think it's like David Red Elk or David Little Elk. I don't remember his YouTube channel, but a while ago Like last year, whenever Russ talked about the return of the Thunder Beings, and he was like, we're going to see who the Thunder Beings are. And I don't know if the Thunder Beings ever came out. So I had to Google it or look it up on YouTube. And then I came across the video of Wakinyan and the Heyoka on that channel. And basically, Wakinyan was a thunder being who the people under the earth played a song for. She was so moved that she blessed their drums with the ability to heal them if they played a steady beat. Right. And it's like, if you don't have drums, use a rattle. If you don't have a rattle, use your hands. If you can't use your hands, use your feet. But if you can produce a steady beat, there would be medicine in it. The crow and the earth keeper, this is almost like there was a similar promise made. And while we may have forgotten it, it isn't forgotten. And with the ghost dance, it's like our ancestors would have known it. Our ancestors would have known how to access the healing that was gifted to us from a greater being. But it's been lost to us. But it's not forgotten. Again, it's not forgotten by wherever this lightning comes from. The offer is still valid. It's still good. But we don't even know what it is. That's what I got. I should do that more often. Ooh, just do a summary. I want to do one more. Oof, maybe not. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. But 4 cards was a lot. If it's 4 cards, I don't usually end it on that unless I'm just like really ready to go. Then I will. But I can do. Teach me how to summarize. Teach me how to summarize Earth, Gaia. This is not Earth Gaia Tarot. Mystical Shaman, teach me how to summarize. Earthkeeper plus the crow is like the crone. Oh, that could also be because the crow plus the crone equal that great being, right? So if the Earthkeeper and the crow is a medicine that leads to lightning, then there's a connection that's been severed. And that's the thing. That's the thing with the name that I couldn't describe in that other video when I was like, why can't I communicate it? It's that. It's like the connection was severed at some point. And if it were healed, then we would become again so much more. And the crow plus the crone is the more. Thanks, Russ. Yeah, like lightning and transforming us. Exactly. But it's a maybe even omnidirectional transformation. And sometimes when we come into energies of transformation, we like for A through G to be transformed, but we don't want the rest of the alphabet to be transformed. So we fight that in some ways. And it's almost like it's searing. So you can't step into it and wish for anything to sort of remain the same. It tackles everything. It goes after everything. It consumes everything. Because it's a complete transformation. It's not partial. So, final message for me to summarize. So 1 card or 2 cards. 2 cards would be gorgeous. That is hilarious. Because I said searing. I said it's searing, and then it's like searing. It popped into my brain. I didn't say it, but when I said searing, I was like searing. And then here's the seer. The seer, the lower world, the beloved. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thunder, water, and the wild woman. This is interesting. There's an openness that the wild woman has to this energy. 61, 62. We are moving forward. Love that energy. She's able to conduct it. If this was Earth, like Thunder, Earth, and the Wild Woman, or if it were a Thunder and Earth energy, they would cancel each other out. Thunder cancels out Earth. Earth does not conduct electricity, but water does very well. On this side of the seer. On the other side is the lower world and the beloved. Bottom of the deck is the sweat lodge. The sweat lodge is an energy of detoxifying. It's an energy where we are purified within ourselves. This is a step down from 5 to a 31-4. It's an energy where we are cleansed and purified from the inside out because of the searing energy. Again, it's just like it passes through everything. And what it does is it ignites even that which has been long since lost. Lost, forgotten, rotting, and decaying. But just put a little U in it. Just like the ash tree, the personal Idrisil. Put some U in it. It starts from the inside, though. From the inside out, that's what I got. First, we had beloved Earth, and now we have the beloved lower world. So I guess Earth is a lower world. So for all those that say that living is hell, the cards agree. Confirmed. Confirmed. This is also the roots, though, right? And the roots came out up top. So it's the first thing. Yeah, it's basically everything that was happening. See the love in the darkness, nutrients. You gotta nourish the roots of your shadows and the Idrisil. A stitch in time saves 9, the Norins, right? Oh, goodness. I forgot I have these. I gotta put these back. Raz. Raza. 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 I explore and engage. That's my lunar eclipse card. I feel like lunar eclipse energy came out recently, but maybe not. What do I know? Maybe the wild woman is also one who's able to not control, direct the energy of lightning. And the difference between control or direct is that she doesn't produce it, but she can channel it. And then I guess it's channeling. Flusa almost came back out again. It's channeling. Oh, that's the energy of ash. Energy going and flowing where it's needed. She's able to direct it to the lower world to bring something to a place where it was never able to find itself before. And again, it's the searing capacity of this to cut through like anything, like a hot knife. Searing, Searing, and also searing, Seering, I guess. And it reminds me, though, of the phoenix's ashes who are trapped under the body of water. And it was the phoenix and the wild unknown animal spirits with the Eight of Wands and the wild unknown tarot. And speaking of light cutting through the water, oh my gosh. Oh, it's literally the Five of Water. It's literally the five of water. It's like there are ashes of a phoenix at the bottom of a body of water. And because it's in water, it can never catch a spark. So the phoenix, the nature of the phoenix is neutralized by the presence of water. And so what happens is a divine bolt of lightning strikes the ashes. And just like when you snuff out a candle and the smoke is still rising, I've never done it in real life, but I've seen a video. If you light the plume of smoke, it's like it'll travel back down and reignite the wick. And that's what the lightning does to the ashes of the phoenix that's trapped under the water. It cuts through the water. And in that single instant, while the phoenix's ashes are reignited, it rides the wave back up out of the water. And then it's free. Reminds me of that. I don't remember the context of where or when or why that came out, but that was a thing for a hot second. The ashes under the water. Opportunity is not a lengthy visitor, they say. I only have 2 cards left. I'll look at them. Oh, no, that's 3. Never mind. Ur. Ur. Wild ox and ger. Ger. Year. Oh my gosh, it's the year of the ox. It's the year of the ox right now. Until the next new moon in Aquarius. There's a harvest to be had this year. The year of the wild ox is the year of harvest. But it's a 12 harvest connected to the number 2. I don't know if we're necessarily going to get anything out of it that we didn't put into it. Also, with oxes being beasts of burdens, you're not going to reap crop that you did not plant seed for. You're not going to reap crop that you didn't tend to care for or water. But it does feel like with these golden lines in the middle of the yellow, it does feel like in some areas where we may have been lacking, there will be support. Potentially. Is it the year of the metal ox? Is it a metal ox year? Hey Siri, metal ox. I didn't get that. Could you try again? Hey
Sorry,
Siri,
there's not.
Google metal ox.
I
It
found
is.
this on the
Okay,
web.
thank you. It is the year of the metal ox. The reason why I ask is because in the wild ox card, or in the wild ox rune, there's like this metallic gray. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. It's like this metallic gray in the middle of the lines. That's why I was like, is it the year of the metal ox? Even further confirmation, it's a time of harvest. Now, this, I don't know what this is. That's also like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a glittery gold. There we go. Can you see it? There, now you can see it. It's a glitter gel pen. There's an energy of silver and gold here. The gold in Ger, the silver in Ur. But the silver in Ur can also be Mercury. So this would be a thermometer. This would be a gauge. The mercury is toxic, like AF. It's reminding me of Hod for some reason, and also at Burston because of the. If it had that in it, it would be at Burston, but it's the energy is feeling like Hod for some reason. So it's like an unseen harvest. It feels like energies are also moving in ways that are unseen. But that which is unseen has to compete with that which is seen. And sometimes it's in our inability to reconcile that which we receive and that which we see, that which we know, that which we believe, and that which we are told, to not be able to reconcile all of them. Sometimes we kind of sort of lean towards what we know, what we've already experienced, and what we see with our physical eyes. What? It's the harvest moon. What? Oh, snap. So the full moon in Aries is halfway through the astrological year, right? So maybe we're going to be coming into a time of harvesting everything that we've been sort of putting in earlier in the year. We've been planting seeds. We planted seeds in spring, and then we've been tending to them over the hot summers. Hopefully, you were watering your seeds because a lot of places were having heat waves and it was real dry. So, if you were relying on the wind and the rain and the weather to water your crop, it might be dead. It might not be. I don't know. Maybe it's alive and thriving. Um, Potentially. I don't know. Aries energy actually came out. I felt it yesterday. I was like, this feels like Malachi Dial, the angel of Aries. Malachi Dial, though, it's something that rises from the void almost without reason, without knowing why. That it was the pool. There was something about a pool and us not knowing why. When I read the seer, the energy came out. I don't know. It was dry there in Oklahoma. Yeah, I think it was dry in a lot of places, unless you were in humid Mexico or any rainforest where it rains and gets really humid. All right, that's what I got. I hope you all have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all to experience your reality. Because in some ways, maybe the responsibility lies in you, not in spirit. You know, if we're sovereign, oops, if we're sovereign autonomous beings, and we can take responsibility for how things play out in our lives, and we can step up and have more of a say, have more of a presence. And it feels like there are energies that are actually, again, with the leech, there are energies that are encouraging us to do that, because it's almost like you can go a lot further and do a lot more when you don't have to hold the hand of a child. But I don't know. Before there was time, before there was language, there were the sacred symbols. That made my head hurt. All right, I'll catch y'all whenever I catch you. I want to use these more so I can get more familiar with them. But like an hour and 20 minutes just to begin to understand. I'm like, what is? I don't know. I kind of want to build some spreads. No, I gotta go. Okay. I was like, oh, I want to do something else, but I was like, And Russell already told me what to do, so I can't ask Russell. I guess I could ask Russell because I didn't ask Russell the first time. Russell asked me. And then I was looking at Steph and I was like, I could have Steph ask. I'd be like, hey, Steph. But also, I need to go. If Siri says tails, I'll head out. Hey, Siri, flip a coin.
Heads.
Okay. I don't know. Something pulls me. Steph, choose a number between. Wait, give me a second. Between 1 and 64. If you are still here. Choose a number between 1 and 64. Steph, evening sky. Hey, Vicky. I feel like all of a sudden I feel someone's impatience. Maybe not. Or not. Okay, I'll catch y'all later. Bye.